record. I should have done that
Gotta
before.
go.
That's okay. All right. Thanks, Greg.
You're welcome.
So we're going to be a little bit stream of consciousness here tonight because we don't have CJ on, right? From Tour Hunter.
I don't see him.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
We'll get through it. CJ was going to do a present.
Yeah, well, Warren, CJ was going to do a presentation on the OA.
Yeah.
And maybe I can fill in a little bit there.
That would be awesome if
you
you'd
don't
like to.
mind.
Sure, it's a good segue from the conversation we just had.
Yes. The mission of the OA is to fulfill its purpose as an integral part of the Boy Scouts of America through positive youth leadership under the guidance of selected capable adults. For more than 100 years, the Order of the Arrow has recognized scouts and scouters who best exemplify the scout oath and law in their daily lives. Arrowmen are known for maintaining camping traditions and spirit, promoting year-round and long-term resident camping, and providing cheerful service to others. OA service, activities, adventures, and training for youth and adults are models of quality leadership development and programming that enrich and help to extend scouting to America's youth. The Order of the Arrow is also recognized as Scouting's National Honor Society, as it has expanded its reach beyond camping to include broader service to scouting and the community. So the purpose of the OA is to recognize those who best exemplify the scout oath and law in their daily lives, and through that recognition cause others to conduct themselves in a way that warrants similar recognition. They promote camping, responsible outdoor adventure, and environmental stewardship as essential components of every scout's experience in the unit, year-round and in summer camp. They develop leaders with the willingness, character, spirit, and ability to advance the activities of their units, our brotherhood, scouting, and ultimately our nation. And they crystallize the scout habit of helpfulness into a life purpose of leadership in cheerful service to others. Now, the requirements to be an OA member: you have to be a registered member of the Boy Scouts of America. Youth must have experienced 15 nights of Scout BSA camping while registered with a troop within the 2 years immediately prior to the election. The 15 nights must include one, but not more than one, long-term camp consisting of at least 5 consecutive nights of overnight camping. Approved and under the auspices and standards of the BSA. Only 5 nights of the long-term camp may be credited towards the 15-night camping requirement. The remaining 10 nights must be overnight, weekend, or other short-term camps of at most 3 nights each. The youth must be under the age of 21, hold the BSA first class rank or higher, and following the approval of their scoutmaster, be elected by the youth members of their troop. Members are elected to the OA by their fellow scouts, whether those scouts are members of the OA or not. So the OA is unique in that non-members are often the ones that are doing the election of the scouts. Adults, that's age 21 or older, who are registered in the BSA and meet the camping requirements may be selected following nomination to the Lodge Adult Selection Committee. Adult selection is based on their ability to perform the necessary functions to help the order fulfill its purpose, and is not for recognition of service. It's not for recognition of current or prior positions. The selected adults must be an asset to the order because of demonstrated abilities and must provide a positive example for the growth and development of the youth. The induction ceremony, called the ordeal, is the first step towards full membership in the order. During the experience, candidates maintain silence, receive small amounts of food, work on camp improvement projects, and sleep apart from other campers. The entire experience is designed to teach significant value. All candidates for membership must complete the ordeal. Any questions? I'm sorry, I did a whole lot of talking, and I'm probably talking a whole lot to a crowd that
knows
knows
about it.
all
Yeah,
about the OA,
that's
right?
I think, some relevant conversation around OA is, I think it's showing a similar reduction in membership that we're seeing across the board globally, right? And, so promotion of OA is important, but also we have to get scouts that have joined in the last year or two up to the point where they meet the minimum requirements, which is first class, and as you mentioned, the camping requirements. And so I know in our troop, we have Star in Life, and we have a lot of tenderfoots and below. And so I don't know if, how many troops meet a similar profile, but, we have a bit of a gap there in the middle of those who might be eligible. And so, it's important to continue to push and advancement, and then also to let the scouts know there's something else out there for them to participate in. So, are other units seeing similar? I mean, where you have minimal numbers that are even eligible for OA right now?
Yeah, we see there are several second-class scouts that are just going to miss the eligibility date for our elections, which are coming up this week. And we're hoping that we could maybe have another election to pull in a couple of more scouts.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I think elections do often occur in April, and oftentimes summer camp is not until late June, even early July, almost 2.5, 3 months later. What is the process to maybe capture some of those scouts that have achieved at least rank within that time frame as well? So, as opposed to making them wait a whole nother year potentially.
Yeah. So we're going to work out something with that. The more scouts that enter the OA weekend together, the more fun it would be for them, and a more memorable moment as well. So, yeah, we're targeting advancement on a couple of scouts before summer camp, and we'll see if we can make everything work out for them.
Sure. Very good. So one other thing is, since we're on OA, I had been on the OA website at some point. There used to be something called the Unit of Excellence in OA. Is that still around, or is that kind of?
It is. I think it's referred to as Thrive now. Is it Thrive, Greg? Is Greg still in here?
He said he was going to a meeting with folks about Thrive, so that may be.
So yeah, it's similar to Journey to Excellence, and that's the thing. Like, even if you're not able to have the election, like Greg was saying earlier, if we can come in and speak to the troop, we actually still get credit for having contact to the troop, which puts us higher on our standards to get to our level of Thrive that we want to get. So it would be much appreciated if we can come in and speak, even if we don't do an election.
Yeah. And I think too, each troop, I would hope, has an OA, representative who's active in OA and serving as a conduit for information between OA and the troop. I know sometimes those positions, they fill the space, but maybe they don't go to the chapter meetings on a regular basis and come to the OA events. But yeah, I think that's a critical piece as well, is to make sure who's in that position at the troop level is really an advocate for the OA. Okay. Anything else around OA, Chuck? Anything else?
No, I'm muted. Hang on.
No, we can hear you.
Not muted. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Now, and I was trying to look over the website to see if I could find what you were talking about.
Yeah, I can actually share.
Are you talking about the Unit of Excellence Award?
Yeah, it was this right here, this Unit of Excellence Award. It
Yeah.
says, January 22, but there was a note here that it's currently being updated and be available in the near future. So there's a patch that goes with that you can wear. And then there was this ribbon, but that's been discontinued. And then so I wasn't sure. I was trying to find what the requirements were for this Unit of Excellence Award for the OA, and I can just find the patch order form. It doesn't really give me any kind of requirements there. So, but we're thinking that's part of the Thrive component now.
Well, Thrive is for the whole lodge. It's not necessarily for a unit.
Okay.
I know a lot of things got changed and rearranged when COVID hit. But I honestly don't know about the Unit of Excellence. I'll have to look into that.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's I'll make a note here. We can kind of look into it and follow back with this group with more information once we know a little bit more. Very good. So just a couple things. This is the slide deck. Can you guys see my slides now that I'm showing?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a slide deck that I shared last month around events and just focusing on April. Again, we're here at Roundtable, of course, and then Conclaves this weekend. Scout Fair is next Saturday. So, collect the money, get that into council, and then Merit Badge College, as Ms. Connie mentioned before. So those are the key things here in April. There are some things in May. I haven't updated the calendar for May. I just didn't get a chance to update these slides. So any questions about any of the events that are coming up in the near term? No? Okay. Also, which is not on here, but to put on your radar, if you don't already know, there's the Centennial Jubilee Camporee was in October. It's the first weekend of October. We really would like to see as much participation from certainly the in-council units as possible. So if you haven't already, reach out to council and I don't, are we reserving spaces for that yet, Brandon, down at camp?
For the council camporee?
For the
Not
campsites?
currently. I'll have to see at what period. I'll have to see what time frame we're looking to open those up to, but to my knowledge right now, we don't have those up yet.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're still working on the logistics around that. And so we'll hopefully by the time we meet in May, again, we'll have more details about how to register and reserve campsites and things like that. All right.
Warren,
Yes.
can I ask a request real quick?
Absolutely.
Chris Chase is on here and he wants to make an announcement. Chris, if you want to come on and make an announcement now, and then you can go over to the Cub Scout room and make the same announcement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey everyone. I'm sorry. I'm like I said, I'm in the middle of a venture meeting too, but I needed to announce this. We are having an RSO or range safety officer and range master training in May. I can't stress how important it is to have range masters and RSOs before we have the 100th anniversary, because we can't operate shooting ranges in times that are other than summer camp with only an instructor. So if you remember on the 95th, when we had everybody down and we're trying to run the ranges, we did not have nearly enough personnel. We had to keep shutting ranges down because I can only serve in one job at a time. So I can't be an RSO and an instructor. So in order to have rifle and to have 8 shooting positions, you have to have both an RSO and an instructor. In order to have pistol, with 1 to every 2, you have to have an instructor for every 2 students and an RSO. So that would mean in order to have 4 shooting ranges with pistols, which we would require to have the range open, we would have to have 2 RSOs and 2 instructors. Now, we could always use more instructors, but I can't train those, but I can train range masters and RSOs. The cost is going to be very cheap. It should be around $20. It'll be on May 21st. It's a Sunday at Tuscarora. So I did it a Sunday afternoon because that way, yeah, I mean, you might miss church that day, but that way we wouldn't take away a scouting day. You know, because that's the problem with the camp is getting the time on the weekends. So we'll have it at the headquarters, and then we'll go down to the range to actually operate a range. If you want to go to range master training only, that's just for Cub Scouts or for Tomahawks, you would not require any money. That's free. The only thing that you have to pay for is the NRA training, because they require materials that I have to provide. So we have to order those from the NRA. So if anybody's interested, please spread that out. Anybody, if you have any interest at all in helping with shooting sports, that's the way we could help. Even if you don't, if you only come once in a while, that would be so much more helpful than anything else. Yes, there is, Mr. Sanchez, there's going to be information sent out by the council. It should go out to all leaders, and it will be listed, I think, in the scout book thing.
So Chris, what's the difference between an RSO and a range master?
Okay, so a range master is a Cub Scout term.
Okay.
It means you can operate Cub Scout archery, rifle, BB guns, and they actually have different ones. I'm going to do full range master training, which will give you Cub Scout, BB, and Cub Scout archery, and then slingshot as a archery. So, and it'll help with the Tomahawk ranges, because you have to do a Tomahawk range too. Or you can do a Tomahawk range if you're a range master. So I know the term range master is used in the military differently, but that's the way the NRA calls it. RSO is the Cub Scout Adventure and Sea Scout level, and range master is the Cub Scout level. And they will always need Cub Scout range master. So don't ever think you won't get used, because once Pam knows, or you know, you'll get put to work. So I've worked just about every Cub event now. So,
Hey, Chris. Oh,
yes.
sorry. Can
Go
you
ahead.
put the name of the training and the date in the group chat? That way
Yeah,
we can
I
make
think
sure we put a note of it.
I thought I did, but maybe I
Oh,
didn't.
did you?
But,
I just missed it. Sorry.
And you'll get a training at, they will also send out an email with the specifics, because I have to charge a little bit of money, but I'm using the Boy Scout prices, which is like $20 for all the materials. So, and it's good for 2 years, but you do have to pay money to the NRA. So there's another additional fee to be licensed, but you have to pay that to the NRA. I can't take it up for you. So you have to join their little group, so they'll send you the certificates. But I'll keep the cost as far down as I possibly can. So, but yes, and then I'm going to switch over to Cub Scouts to answer their questions. But if anybody has any questions, just email me, chase.teacher@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to help you. Okay.
Very good. Thanks.
All
Thanks,
right.
Chris.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Someone in the chat also, and I apologize, I'm missing some of the chat. When I'm sharing,
I
it's
think I
hard to
got kicked
see.
out.
No, you're still there. I can still hear you, Chris.
No, I know, but there's not. It says I'm at the Cub Scout round table.
Oh, really?
I thought it was at Boy.
You are in Boy Scouts.
He just got sucked into the warp, so it took a while. So
Okay.
apologize.
Well,
So I was missing some of
okay.
the chats while I was sharing. Someone had
Board?
asked to remind. Wait a minute. Somebody had asked to remind about IOLS training as well in May, right? So
Yeah,
just wanted to make sure we brought
I'd like
that
to
up.
remind about IOLS training, if you
Mhm.
don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be on May 20th and 21st. The cost is $40. So, and it will be done in time that if you also want to go to Chris's training on Sunday afternoon, you will have plenty of time to do that as well. But this is there you go. Very good.
All right. Can you guys see it
and
okay?
This is required for all assistant scoutmasters and scoutmasters. You know, this is part of the requirement for scoutmasters and assistant scoutmasters. This, then Scoutmaster specific, which is done online, and weather, which is done online. That's what those three are required for you to be fully trained in those positions.
Right. So we just had crossover. So maybe some new leaders have joined troops, scouts, Cub Scouts have crossed over. Welo's crossed over. So it's a good chance for them to jump on that as well, right?
And this
Exactly,
also
yeah.
will qualify anybody that wants to take Wood Badge in the fall to go ahead and then sign up for Wood Badge.
Good point. All right. Anything else on ILS or any other training opportunities coming up? As you mentioned, Wood Badge. So Connie, did you want to continue in that frame about Wood Badge? Oh,
Yeah,
you're-
got myself unmuted. Just that, we're still planning on holding the course, let me see if I can get the dates right quick. No, I don't have my calendar in front of me, but it's, in October, I believe, is the first weekend. See if it's on my,
I can
Fine.
look it up. I've got it on my
Okay.
my
but
work calendar
the
here.
big thing is, we had to postpone it last spring, winter, because we did not have enough participants, and we really, really need to get enough participants to be able to hold it. And hopefully, there are enough folks out there that realize what a wonderful training it is. I promise Susan I'll speak up on it every chance I get, that this really adds to any other training you've already had, whether it's through Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts or Ventures or whatever.
Yeah, so the first weekend is the last weekend of September, right? It's like the 29th, 30th, and October 1st.
Right, goes into October. That's what I was thinking, that first weekend.
And then the second weekend is the weekend of like the 20th through the 22nd of October.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure how many people are currently signed up, but I know there's space available. So
There's 8 people.
we're at 8. Okay.
One
Very
other
good.
thing that I've talked to some of the troops and the next Scoutmasters is for MYLT. We need to come up with a date and start planning, because there's a lot of youth out there. We hadn't had one in 2 years. There's a lot of youth out there that is interested in taking MYLT. So we need to work towards doing that in the fall sometime too.
All right.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, Steve, I agree with that. I think we will have 7 or 8 that would be eligible for that in our troop. And they've been talking about it. They've been discussing it. So that's a good opportunity for the Scouts.
Steve and I were just having a discussion about that. We just got to find some dates that are going to work for the staff and for the council and for camp. That's honestly one of the hardest parts, is just finding an available weekend.
Yeah.
Well, weekends, plural.
Yeah, between the fall, right? We've got Cub Scout weekends and the Jubilee Camporee and Wood Badge. There's not many options left.
And what you don't see when you put on a course is that you need 3 or 4 staff development weekends too to get ready for that course. So yes, it's hard to fit it into the calendar.
All right, but we'll make a note of it. And there are probably MYLT sessions outside of council. I don't know where they are or when, but we'll have additional conversation about what we can do in council for sure. Summer camp. So is Brandon still on? I know Tyra left to go to the.
Yes.
All right. Did you want to cover anything specific around summer camp?
Specific to summer camp, some real quick things off the top of the bucket list. We are still looking for a lot of our units, specifically youth, to potentially work summer camp as staff members. We've had good turnout from the outside community and stuff coming to camp to volunteer and help teach. But it really makes the experience a lot better for our youth in the programs and taking those merit badges. If there's, youth staff members and people that they can connect with. So I highly encourage any of our unit serving leaders or leaders who come into contact with units, the older youth in a unit who have been around, they know just about, I won't say everything in scouting, but they've ran its course. They're kind of transitioning to that role model youth teacher kind of stage in their scouting career, those are excellent youth to come on board as staff members during summer camp. So if you guys could help us, please spread the word to the units and people you come into contact with, that if they are interested in coming on board to serve on summer camp staff, we would love to get those in as soon as possible. That way we can kind of get a head count and get things locked in. The other thing is we're trying to do something different with summer camp this year, being our 100th anniversary, trying to expand our program offerings and things like that a bit. So if you know of anyone, regardless of if they're in your unit or someone out in the community who works in a trade-related profession, plumbing, welding, anything, an electrician or anything like that, if you could please pass the word that we're looking for some of these skill sets from these individuals to come out and teach a merit badge or two during our programs, to where we can be able to offer these courses that we wouldn't be able to normally have. We'd much appreciate it. By all means, you can pass along my contact information to them and get that stuff to us. We'd appreciate it.
And Brandon, for
Other
the
than that,
youth
just
that want to be on,
highly encourage units to sign up.
for the youth that want to
Yep,
be
go
on
ahead, Tammy.
staff, they only need to be 14 to be a CIT and 15 to be a paid staffer. Is that correct?
Correct.
And there's no other requirements.
So it's
I'm not sure
14
if
to be a
everyone knows
CIT.
that.
No, the 14 to be a CIT, that's going to put them through a summer of training to become a paid merit badge counselor for summer camp the following season, should they, and we'd hope so, should they wish to come back for another season with us. We'll bounce them around to the different program areas and everything to give them a taste of all that camp has to offer, and allow them to get a taste of everything. So should they decide to come back, they've kind of got a sense of what their strong suit is in a specific area, or what merit badges they'd want to teach. Then 15 and up are trading post positions, dining hall stewards, merit badge counselors, lifeguards, things like that. We always need some more help from. So by all means, we encourage everyone to at least apply, regardless of openings or not, just so we can kind of have those on a back burner and see who we've got coming in.
Also, in the past, I know a lot of people were hesitant to apply if they couldn't be there for the entire summer camp session. If someone's going to miss a week because maybe they're at another summer camp, they can still apply and be on staff, correct?
Yeah, so the only thing we want to, I mean, we'll still bring them on board and things as much as possible. We don't want to, of course, stifle their own advancements and stuff like that. They're more than welcome if their units going to be attending a week during summer camp, they want to go as a participant, or say their unit's going off to for example, a summer camp off at Raven Knob or Daniel Boone, and they want to go as a participant with their unit. They're more than welcome to. We just ask that they disclose any conflicts and availability and stuff when they submit their application, so we can kind of roadmap that out with everyone else to make sure we have coverages in those areas.
Okay, I'm asking questions that I think other people might, and there was a question in the chat. Do you have to be a CIT to be a paid staffer? So if someone's 16, they've never been on camp staff, they want to know what that process is.
No, so you do not have to be a counselor in training at any point in time in order to be a paid staffer. For example, myself, I was never even aware of the CIT program before I started working staff. I started working on staff when I was a 16-year-old, I believe. I think 2017 was my first summer camp that I worked at, and then just kept on going ever since. So no, it does not require you to be a CIT in order to be a paid staffer. However, it definitely does help because you have a better idea of what you're getting into, and what the tasks, the management, and all that stuff. A little bit of how to balance things out would be really all that you'd get out of that. But no, you do not have to be a CIT to be a staffer.
Thanks, Brandon.
Anyone else have any questions?
And just to confirm the time commitment, Brandon, right? So there's a week of staff development and then there's well, I guess a half a week of staff development. And then the second half of that week is Cub Camp. And then there's 2 or 3 sessions of summer camp.
It would be nice if we could get enough units to commit, both with our word of mouth, out of councils and things like that, to be able to offer a 3rd week. That's the goal, is to be able to expand our programs, do it for another week, get more people in, because once again, that summer camp is the best opportunity for the youth as far as advancements and things like that. So the longer we're able to provide them with that experience and that opportunity, the better off program wise they'll be. There is that week of staff training. So if you go onto the calendar for the council, staff week does start on the 14th. It's a Wednesday of June. We did that to where we weren't having to conflict with the Cub Scout resident camp, which is the half week from the next Wednesday to that Friday and Saturday. Last year we had done it with the Cub resident camp during our staff week, and logistically it was a little chaotic. So we decided to stagger our staff week back to be able to give everyone the full week of staff week, and then be able to run our programs as normal.
So where's staff week again? So it's June, it's the week before Cubs?
So staff week would be on that 14th. Yeah, it starts on the 14th all the way through the 20th.
Okay, so it starts on a Wednesday.
So we just
Wednesday
basically staggered it back half a week to where Cub Scout resident camp could be its own separate program.
Okay, all right, very good. Yeah, it's just not staff week doesn't appear to be on the calendar here, but maybe it's on a different one. And then we got
say it's on
Yeah,
my calendar.
If you go to
at
the
work, I'll see if it's
PDF,
on-
if you go to the PDF under the calendar, yes, click that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's on there.
Yeah. Click calendar
yeah, I'm having
and go to
trouble.
2022, 2023.
Yeah, my bar is in the way. It's preventing me from getting to it. Let me move that out of the way. There we go. All right, so
click
we're
the
gonna go with
yeah,
that
right there.
one.
Yes.
There we go.
There you go. Scroll down.
June
Yeah.
23, right? We want June 23.
Yeah. Yes. There
it
you
is.
go.
Perfect.
Yep, so right there on
Staff
the
one.
14th.
There it is. All right. Very good.
So in case anyone doesn't know, as far as our staffing goes, the reason why staff week is a fairly long process, we're required by nationals and everything to have at least 28 hours of mandatory training. That goes without including YPT, hazardous weather, workplace harassment, all of those trainings that we do online. So that's why we have that week of training to knock that stuff out before we have campers and other needs on camp that we have to attend to.
Very good. And just a reminder, we've got Scoutmaster specific training that occurs during the camp weeks. So if we need refresher or anyone who's interested in that training, that's available. It's a good way to get that done while they're down at camp as well. All right. Anything else about summer camp? Just sign up, right? All right.
Yep. Say the sooner we get you guys signed up, the sooner you guys can get the classes you want.
All right. So speaking of summer activities, do we still have Brian Bullard on? Do you want to talk about Jambo? Or did he drop off? We might have lost him. So anyone's interested in...
No, I'm on.
He's on.
Oh, there he is.
I was just scrambling to find the unmute button.
Yeah. You want the floor to talk about Jambo just for a minute? I know we're right at 8 o'clock.
Sure. Very briefly. So the enrollment period ended at the end of last month. National CAT registration. So we have a council contingent of 30 that will be attending, and that's both male and female contingent. We're very excited about it, and we do have patch sets that you can purchase. An email constant contact went out just a couple days ago. Those are available for pre-order you can contact Amanda at the Scout office. Really neat theme. I think the youth are really excited about the Wampus Cat theme of the patch set. It's been about 50 years since that legend was created. So hope you all will purchase some of those patches that help support our contingent attending the National Jamboree. And we're very excited. We had a great shakedown. We, as a troop, participated in an Eagle Project, marched at the very front of the Faison Farmers Parade. And let me tell you, y'all ain't seen culture until you've been up in the front of the Faison Farmers Parade with all the big trucks honking their horn, the fire trucks wailing their sirens, and people throwing candy at us. It was a great day. But we have another shakedown coming up in May, and just want to say how much we have truly appreciated the help and support of Stuart and our council staff, because frankly wouldn't be able to do it without you all's help. Thanks so much, Stuart, for being there for us and encouraging us.
Very good.
That's what I have.
Buy patch sets. That's the fundraiser. I saw there was 2 different versions, right? There's a black border and a silver border, I think, for
Correct.
contingents and OA members.
Correct. The silver border is available to OA members, and I think an email blast is going out through Lodge Master about that, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, you'll be impressed with the quality of that design of that patch set and the full pocket set as well.
Very good. All right. Any questions about Jambo? Nope. All right. So we're right at the end. Is Chris Key still on? Because he and I were talking about this the other night. Our unit's actually going to App Trail, and I know, Chris, you wanted to take the opportunity to see if anybody's been to App Trail and had a recommendation for a nice, easy trail.
Yes, so we did Uwharrie Forest as a prep for the Appalachian Trail, and I think we should have done the Appalachian Trail as a prep for Uwharrie. A couple of our younger scouts, smaller scouts, had kind of struggled with the Uwharrie hike that we had. I've never hiked the Appalachian Trail, so if anybody has experience at the Appalachian Trail, Southern Virginia, North Carolina, we're looking for a 2, maybe 2.5 day hike that's a fairly easy hike, so that the scouts can enjoy it, have a good time. And I just don't know where to go. I know there was a troop that went up there and provision company dropped them off, and they hiked back into town and grabbed their van and left, or loops, or there's a whole lot of opportunities, and I don't know any of them. So if you have if you have knowledge of the Appalachian Trail and some good trails for us to consider, I would love to speak to you by email, phone, whatever it takes. I want to get that plan and get it right for our scouts. So if you have any information, I would love to communicate with you.
Very good.
Look, my 10-mile, 7,000-foot climb is still on the table.
All right. So we are a few minutes beyond. I think we've covered quite a bit. We can go back over to the parking lot if you guys want to. Unless there's anything else urgent, Chuck or Tammy or Brandon, anyone else that we need to cover? Or Stuart, I guess.
I'm good.
I think we've hit the bulk of it.
It's just bye for now, right, Stuart? It's not farewell.
That's right, Warren. That's right. That's right.
Very good. We will miss you. So thank you
Yes,
for all
sir.
your efforts over the last couple of years.
Thank you, brother.
All right. But if there's nothing else, let's head back over to the parking lot if you want to, or if you can drop off, and we'll see everyone again in May.
Thank you, Warren.
Thank you.
Well done, everybody. Good to see you all. And again, Stuart, happy birthday to you. And
Thank you, brother.
fair seas, my friend. Look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Yes, sir. I'll see you next week.